a piece. So you want to maintain your character no matter what kind of insanity is going around you. Everything you do is as that character, okay? Even when it comes down to singing. So if you're, I don't know how, if you're Madonna singing about the slippery despair or whatever it is, you're doing that slippery despair song still as Madonna. Remember not to drop your character once you hit the production number, okay? So whatever that character was, if you were Michael Jackson, if you were O.J. Simpson or whatever, you're trying to do that number as that person or that character would do it. And also, don't worry about pretty singing, don't worry about, you just sing whatever you're singing. If it doesn't match as far as you're concerned, call it jazz, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm improvising, okay? You're improvising the music. It's naturally supposed to be dissonant because the dissonance in my soul is reflected by the music, okay? Whatever excuse, it doesn't matter. You're here just to let it go free-flowing and let it go wherever it's going to go.
If you were actually doing this in a workshop setting, I mean, you're going to have only a few moments each group to do this. So it's really just a dramatic illustration right now. But if you were doing this, you can, this is an example of ways in which you could take characters. I work with younger kids a lot. So oftentimes I have to put together a piece where you've got a Power Ranger and Cinderella and the Tooth Fairy and all these different people combined together in the same situation. So we're not looking for polished performance, but this is an example of how you can take a character and enhance it as much as you would like through detail. Okay, so which group would like to go first?
Group 1, they were ready.
Okay, group 1.
No.
You like?
You guys
Ready?
We'll set the standard for all of us.
Places.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and let me know when you're ready and I will say lights up.
Are we ready?
Everybody ready? And action.
All right, yes, you can come in now. Please, hurry up. Your name, please.
Sorry, I'm the comrade.
All right, you go ahead now. All right. Next, please.
Oh, great, yes.
Welcome to Mr. Select's house. What's your name?
Jordan.
All right. You go in now, Mr. Jordan. Basketball player now. All right, next, please. Come along. Welcome to Christmas party. Your name, please. Okay, Miss Cox, you go ahead. All right. Next, please. Flight attendants, Mr. Selling, your jalapenos are here. You go ahead, serve them. All right. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. Your name, please. Hugh Grant of Hugh Grant.
We'd like to dedicate this song. I'm Tom Petty. This is Joan Baez. We'd like to dedicate our song to Mel and Paula, who aren't here at the moment, and Cinderella. I heard she was here somewhere. We'd like to dedicate the song. It's Free Fall. Now I'm free, free fall.
Wait! Everybody jump! Come on, the Terminator, jump!
I'll be there for you, Tom. I'll be there for you.
Reporting live from Maine. It's a very goofy, slimy day today, isn't it? I have to see that.
The big bad wolf. There's sleepy around here.
Slippery, right?
Don't you know who I am?
Isn't that Ryan? Yes, what else, Bill? I know a couple of things. Mozart. Do you have any favorite Christmas songs you'd like me to play? Okay.
Old milk, big quarter pounder.
Joe Montana.
Jeepers.
Run! You gotta run, guys! Run! Don't run. Excuse me. Stop you. Did anybody see the door? Where's the door?
The door? I should call the painter.
The painter.
Hello, painter.
Paint. Right. Okay.
See you going now.
Oh my gosh! There's a greenhouse in the punch bowl.
No.
Look at that!
That ain't one of the biggest houses. I think we should get out of here.
Oh, I'm so happy!
Oh, it's a sad, happy day, but I'm scared in this way. I don't know why. I'm scared, but I'm happy. Oh God! I'm scared.
Okay, group 4.
All righty.
Okay, now look, this part is real important to me. It's been a long time, you know, I've been in jail a year now, and this is the big thing. All these friends are coming, I want to show them a good time. All right? Now, you got something special, you know, for everybody with all my friends coming here. Show me what you can do.
Of course. Like a virgin.
Whoa! Yeah. I like virgin. Okay, what about you? You got something to show me?
Yeah! Mary had a little rat, a stinky rat, an ugly rat. Mary had a little rat, and it was really fat.
I think they're gonna like that. They're gonna like it. It'll be real special. You keep thinking of some good ones, okay? You got all the jellos
I
ready.
got the sticky slimy jello.
All right. Good. It's real good. You know, it's got that good stuff that'll make everybody feel real good. Just in case something happens to the nurse. Where's the nurse? Listen, after they eat that jello, watch, just in case something crazy. All right. Now wait. Oh, I hear the door. Wait.
Hey, baby.
Sorry, I didn't hear you come in. No, baby. What are you talking about, man? I'm not your type. No, she won't. Haven't you heard? Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm not gay, guys. Cool. I'm not, you know.
Where are they?
Yeah. No. Hey, man!
That's the
Yeah.
shit.
Getting off there.
Thanks, you know?
Great stuff. Killing, I love it. You all got to kill. It's great.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, all right. I see how it is.
That's right. You know, you know,
I'm doing it here. Wicked.
Where are the presents?
Where'd the presents go?
This is a Christmas party. Where's the presents? What is this?
Presents.
This is the worst party of my life. Should have told OJ to kill his wife.
I didn't do it. Boy, what's that? I didn't do it. Thanks, folks. You know, I'm sorry.
Okay, I saw the presents. Where did they go?
I didn't do it for your song.
Where's the song? That was the song.
All right. We had a little trouble with the songs here, but okay. Okay. Now take this. This is just a very condensed version of what you would do. Normally, if you're planning to do this in your school or with a group, what you would do is spend one semester or one time doing your improvs and developing the actual play. Then ultimately, you're going to have to choose someone who's going to put it all together, who becomes the actual playwright and the actual composer, okay? Otherwise, as you can see, it's really hard to do everything all at once because you're not going to have a general tone. Mostly what you can try to do is develop the situations and your characters, and you can all work out together the storyline. Then someone actually has to put it together in scenes and actually write it down. Or you can have, like, if you were a smaller group, you could conceivably do it all together and then have someone act as a secretary who actually writes down everything that's actually happening. Okay, we developed this show that we're about to, they're just getting into costume now, Louder Than Words. We developed this over the first semester was spent on improv, the second semester was spent on actually rehearsing the show. So what you're going to see today is the end result. We also have a whole catalog of other shows that we've developed either through this process or they've been written specifically for the classes. You'll find that if you're a teacher or even if you are a student, some of our students like Darren and Donald who are in this show are actually, they're in the process now of writing an opera. So they've got, 5 of them got together, Darren's writing the music, and some of the others are writing melodies. It depends on who you've got. You know, if you can play piano or if you can play decently, or if you have a computer with a music program at school, don't say to yourself, oh, writing is for somebody else. You just go for it and do it because anyone can come up with melodies, okay? You can do this if you just think in your head, and even if it's very monotone. If you're writing melodies, you go for something that follows how you would say the lines. So if it's an emotional line and maybe you feel like it's going up, then the pitch is bound to go up. Those are the kind of things that you look to do. And if you've sung a lot, try to sing other people's songs. Then it sort of gets into your body how a song should go, how that emotional song, and it comes out of you naturally. So you've got to have input. You input yourself with other songs that are good that you like. And then ultimately, don't feel bad that you're imitating. If you say you want to write a song in the style of Mozart or in the style of Stephen Sondheim, that's fine. Because it may be in the style, but ultimately your stamp is going to be on it because only you are you. And I find that a lot of people will not write music because they'll say like, oh, it sounds just like so-and-so. Oh, it sounds just like so-and-so. Don't worry about that stuff to begin with. You've got to start somewhere, okay? So most people will be their own worst critics. If you work in a group with your friends, if you work in school, that's the place to experiment and come up with your own plays. That's how we've been doing this now I've been writing for like 20 years, and we've actually had shows go to Off-Broadway that we've developed through that. We wrote a show called A Spinning Tale, and it started being written, of all things, for 4th and 5th graders, and it ended up on Off-Broadway. Now, I will warn you about that. Things that I discovered on my own. When you write for a specific age group, it is extremely difficult to then adapt that to older or totally different group. It's very hard, and I found that out the hard way by doing it. So be aware that if you're going to write a show for younger kids, say you go and you say, I'm going to go into this elementary school, and I'm doing this as my senior project for high school, and I'm writing these kids a play. If you write them a play, and then you decide you want to later do it with adults, it's going to be really hard. It's hard to work that way because you're going to write your music based on how they sing, okay? You're going to be tailor-making your work to them. So it will always work ideally for those 4th and 5th graders. But even if you try to then throw in elements to make it more adult, you're going to find that the whole piece is not of one piece, okay? You have to maintain the tone. You have to maintain a certain, that whole level of believability. You can create any kind of fantasy, but you can't break the fantasy by suddenly sticking in something from left field. So that, to me, is for you guys, I would consider that my major piece of advice. As I said, we have a catalog out there for those of you who are interested who are looking for material. It has high school material in it. It has younger people's material in it. And you'll see that another thing that you may want to do when you're working and when you're writing is to adapt stories. Make sure they're public domain. Do you know what that means? Yeah. Okay, so in other words, you don't take a recently written story or novel without the rights and then go spend a year working on it because you won't be able to do it legally. And if you've spent a whole year on it and then they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you the rights to this, it's just not worth it. So either come up with your own thing totally or make sure that it's public domain before you adapt the story. I will say from a commercial standpoint, if you're trying to write and you want people to come see your show, if you adapt something that's well known, you're more likely to draw people in because people only want to see what they know, okay? Most commercial audiences are not going to come to see a show that sounds really esoteric, so you might get your friends there, but it is difficult to get an audience for something that they don't know. People feel much safer going to see a show like, oh, they'll go to see Phantom of the Opera now because they've heard the music for 3 zillion years. And, oh yeah, I know about that chandelier, so let's all buy tickets for Phantom of the Opera. There may be other shows that are a lot better, but because they're not as well known, they're not going to draw. So always bear that in mind when you're designing a show and you want people to come, or you're even selecting a show for your group to do, to make sure that you try to either have a built-in audience or try to pick something that is going to sound enticing. So when you're picking your title for your play, if it's not an adaptation, make it try to sound as interesting as possible. The kids pick Louder Than Words. I don't know what that invokes, but I guess there's songs about it you'll see in the show. But we went through a whole process of deciding the title, and the title was the last thing we wrote in the entire show. Because, as I said, the title is really, really crucial. Now, we are going to start in approximately 15 minutes. Are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions about going about this or writing shows themselves? Anything like, yes?
Well, what we're going to see was written by the students and you.
What you're going to see was developed, okay, the characters were developed, not by these particular kids, because we couldn't, it's a longer process. To have a show like this ready for November 3rd, if you're starting in September, is impossible, okay? So this was written with an earlier group, an earlier high school group, and some of these kids were actually in the original production. And they spent an entire semester first starting off with improvs, regular improvs that you would do through different books, whatever books you buy, you know, there's so many of them out there, okay? Then you have to have a teacher generally, or one of you, one person who's guiding the improvs, because sometimes you will find that you'll have total chaos. And if you want to get it done, there's got to be one person saying, okay, this is the deadline, it's got to be done by this day. Because you'll be fixing, I'm forever fixing. Every time I do a show, again, it's like, oh, I got to rewrite this scene, oh, I got to rewrite this scene. Theater is not static. It's not, I've written the book, there it is, okay? Any writer and any composer throughout history, Rossini, Mozart, everybody, every time they redid the show, they, Candace, sorry, I'll cut this part out, let's add another one. It's a living entity, and it doesn't exist as a piece until you see it live on the stage. That's the only time it exists. You can read it in the script all you want, but you're never going to get the flavor of the show. And it's you, the actors, the people, and the audience who make it come to life. So I would say we spent one semester meeting once a week only, okay? Because we are not associated with a specific high school. We are a theater school in itself. We run classes. All they meet is once a week. This entire show, I don't know if I should be admitting this right now, was done in 8 weeks. We had 2 days of auditions, and then we had 2 rehearsals a week. So I'd say 7 times 2 it was done in 14 rehearsals. Okay, it's like going, oh, we got to leave it here now. Okay, 14 rehearsals. We did this. We just did it this weekend. You have to be efficient. You can get things done quickly. You don't have to be nerdling over every little thing till you've rehearsed the show to death. Okay, you'll find that people get so obsessed. A lot of directors will get so obsessed with, no, you moved your finger wrong at that right time. You know, go for the essence of the character. Be the character. That's the most important thing to remember. Don't get anybody's way on stage, and don't turn your back to the audience. You know, that's kind of the thing. If you are the character, it will be there. Now, one of the reasons that it enabled us is there's minor choreography to this show. This is a play with music. The play was developed first, the music was there to support the show. So we don't have an overly elaborate choreography, and since this takes place in an insane asylum, what's the politically correct word? A mental rehabilitation. What's the
Psychiatric institution.
Psychiatric institution. Okay. That was the place that they decided to put this in because kids like to be crazy, or like their version of crazy. You'll also notice that, I don't know if we posted them out there, every single one of the students now did a biography of their character. Often you will find when you're doing a script and you're analyzing the script, it's like, oh, well, I don't know anything about this person, and everybody goes in and they just say their lines, and they may have 5 lines, and it's blah. You know, it's just blah. Because that actor or actress has not determined who that person is. So within this, we have so many characters because we always have a lot of people in our plays, and we don't audition to join Crystal Theater. There are classes, you sign up, we then use everybody who's there, and we find something for them to do within a show. That way, when you're developing a writing script, we don't have to worry about, like, we have a school of 2,000 people and 30 kids get into the show. You know, I feel that theater is for everybody, and everyone who wants to do it, okay? You must have the desire, not just because, oh, it's cool to be in theater because people are being cool, you know, or whatever, you know. You have to want to act. That's all it takes. If you have the desire, you will be able to do it. And I have found this since I did a lot of theater before, but we actually started Crystal Theater in 1987, and I have found that with every single student we've had, from age 2nd grade straight through up through the opera company that we run, that it's solely based on the desire and commitment. And you will get excellence, at least, maybe not perfection, but you will have the soul and the spirit, which is what we always strive for. We want soul and spirit within our songs, within all of the acting. And any one of you, when you're working on a show, you will know your show will be successful. I don't care about mistakes. I don't care, you know, things are going to go wrong. The electricity's going to go off. Somebody's chair many times, you know, and it's like, okay, a cappella, here we go. 2 weeks ago, we were rehearsing another show. The whole place was flooded. The hurricane's going on outside, and we're in the dark with 60 people. It's like, okay, the show is about lightness and darkness. Now we're going to practice the darkness part. You just adapt. And if you have an audience, they don't care what's going wrong. They want to be entertained, and that's your job as actors, to entertain them. You're going to find this show, there's a lot of humor that was put in by the original kids about acting, because what happens is within the play, a graduate student comes to this institution, and he's like, you know, Mr. Gung-ho, naive. He thinks he's going to change the world by putting all these people in a play, and they're all going to become healed miraculously. So you see this whole process of what they go through, but it is also about the transformative nature of theater and how it can positively affect your lives and the lives of all the people around you, regardless of what part you take in it. And you know, that is the joy that we experience as teachers at Crystal Theater. My sister is also a founder, but she's backstage. Also, we're flexible. One of the girls that was in the show had to leave for London today, so I had to plug my sister in one of rows. So you're going to see a couple of adults in some of these roles. They were emergency replacements because people had other commitments, but they're doing a good job. So it may, you know, I think as long as they maintain their characters and the students do, you'll be able to follow. If you want to take a short break now, there's programs out there so you can sort of see what's going on. There's all kinds of stuff, there's bathrooms, whatever, and we're starting exactly at 11 o'clock. Thank you all, you did a fabulous job.
Oh, I'd love to sit. Thank